if you're a college player and you're a great college player, like Caitlin was, the delusional fan base that follows her disrespected the WNBA players by saying she's going to go in that league and tear it apart. There were actually odds on like she's third or fourth in betting odds on being MVP of the WNBA. These people are so disrespectful and so unknowledgeable and so stupid that it gives women's basketball a bad name. Okay, so the kid was set up for failure right from the beginning.
Geno Auriemma once believed he had Caitlin Clark all figured out. To him, she was just a flashy player with a fan base caught up in a fantasy, someone he thought wasn't ready to make waves in the basketball world. But reality has a way of humbling even the loudest critics, and for Aura, that moment came on live TV. The same Caitlin Clark he doubted, claiming she couldn't handle the physicality of the WNBA, has blown past every expectation, silencing skeptics and turning doubters into admirers. Ironically, Geno himself has now become one of her biggest supporters.
She's got the wrong skill set to handle the physicality of that league, and she's a rookie.
Clark's freshman season wasn't just impressive, it was revolutionary. With electrifying performances that lit up the court and record-breaking achievements destined to stand the test of time, she silenced critics in the most definitive way possible, through her game. Even her harshest detractor, legendary coach Auriemma, known for his steadfast opinions, couldn't ignore her brilliance. What no one expected was his eventual shift, from skeptic to admirer, offering praise that stunned the basketball world. But how did it happen? How did one of the sport's most iconic figures go from doubting Clark to celebrating her greatness? The story behind this dramatic turnaround is as captivating as the headlines it inspired.
Geno, baby, if Caitlin Clark is on the team, it becomes the right team. Because Caitlin Clark is on it. It's like saying Michael Jordan's not on the right team. It's the right team if Michael Jordan is on the roster.
It all began with a statement that sent shockwaves through the basketball world. Appearing on Asterisk, the Dan Patrick Show Asterisk, legendary UConn coach Geno Auriemma didn't hold back. He openly criticized Caitlin Clark's fan base, calling them delusional and accusing them of setting her up for failure. His reasoning? Aura claimed Clark wasn't built for the physicality of the WNBA and doubted she had the quickness to handle aggressive defenders. To truly understand Geno Auriemma doubts, you have to rewind to Caitlin Clark's college days at Iowa. She wasn't just a star. She was a phenomenon whose impact on the court was seismic. Her jaw-dropping long-range shooting, unmatched leadership, and ability to score at will transform the Hawkeyes into national contenders and made her the talk of the basketball world. By the time she was selected as the top pick in the 2024 WNBA draft, Clark was already a household name. But Aura wasn't impressed. To him, collegiate success didn't necessarily guarantee dominance in the pros, unless you hailed from UConn, of course. WNBA legend Diana Taurasi echoed his skepticism, famously saying, Asterisk, this kid's in for a rude awakening. Asterisk, the basketball world quickly divided into two camps. Clark's supporters, who championed her relentless work ethic, high basketball IQ, and clutch performances, and her critics, who doubted whether her collegiate brilliance could translate to the WNBA's unforgiving pace and physicality. The pressure on Clark to prove herself was immense. She entered the league with odds placing her as third or fourth for MVP, a ranking some viewed as an insult to veteran players. But if there's one thing Caitlin Clark has always done, it's rise to the occasion. What followed was one of the most remarkable rookie seasons in WNBA history. Leading the Indiana Fever, Clark obliterated expectations, averaging 19.2 points, 8.4 assists, and over 5 rebounds per game. Her offensive brilliance turned heads, but it was her ability to elevate teammates and control the game's tempo that left even her staunchest critics speechless. Along the way, she shattered an astonishing 62 records, silencing doubters and earning respect league-wide. From buzzer beaters that sparked wild celebrations to triple-doubles that became social media sensations, Clark's rookie season was packed with defining moments. She wasn't just proving she could compete. She was demonstrating that she belonged among the league's brightest stars. The freshman slump Aura had predicted never materialized. Instead, the very player he doubted shattered every expectation. By the season's end, the question wasn't whether Clark could handle the WNBA. It was how far her star would rise. So what led to Geno Auriemma's dramatic change of heart? Was it Clark's undeniable brilliance, or was there more at play? The story took an unexpected twist when reports surfaced of Aura's financial stake in Unrivaled, a burgeoning 3-on-3 basketball league, aggressively pursuing Clark as its marquee star. His newfound praise for her came at a suspiciously convenient time, raising questions about whether his admiration was heartfelt or strategic. Despite Aura's attempts, Clark turned down Unrivaled's offer, choosing to focus on her WNBA career. But her influence was clear. She had all the leverage and wielded it confidently. The turning point came during a tribute video aired during a college game where Clark was in attendance. The video celebrated her achievements, blending college highlights with messages of admiration from teammates, coaches, and even rivals. Geno Auriemma expected praise in the segment stole the show. Once her loudest critic, he now openly acknowledged her greatness, calling her an asterisk phenomenon asterisk, and admitting she had changed the game in ways few could. Social media erupted. Fans celebrated, skeptics reevaluated, and analysts debated whether Aura's praise was genuine or calculated. Regardless, the moment marked a shift, not just in Aura's opinion, but in the broader perception of women's basketball. Clark's rookie season wasn't just a personal triumph, it was a cultural milestone. She redefined what it meant to be a star in the WNBA, proving that the sport's future was brighter than ever. As she prepares for the 2025 season, the stakes are higher, the expectations greater, and the excitement palpable. Clark's journey is about more than records and accolades. It's about resilience, ambition, and the power to inspire. She has become a beacon for the next generation, showing them that with talent and determination, anything is possible. Women's basketball is evolving, and Caitlin Clark is at the center of that transformation, changing the game and leaving a legacy that will endure for years to come. The pressure on Clark to prove herself was immense. She entered the league with odds placing her as third or fourth for MVP, a ranking some viewed as an insult to veteran players. But if there's one thing Caitlin Clark has always done, it's rise to the occasion. What followed was one of the most remarkable rookie seasons in WNBA history. Leading the Indiana Fever, Clark obliterated expectations, averaging 19.2 points, 8.4 assists, and over 5 rebounds per game. Her offensive brilliance turned heads, but it was her ability to elevate teammates and control the game's tempo that left even her staunchest critics speechless. Along the way, she shattered an astonishing 62 records, silencing doubters and earning respect league-wide. From buzzer beaters that sparked wild celebrations to triple-doubles that became social media sensations, Clark's rookie season was packed with defining moments.